Shadows move when they hear my name. Rich in blood, I control the game. Eyes above, watching where I go. Crown of silence, the world will know. Bloody rich, I break the law.
Takara walked back toward the city lights, each step heavier than the last. The night breeze no longer felt calming, it felt cold, sharp, cutting through him. Takara thought. I came here for peace, but instead, I carry a storm back with me. The limousine door shut behind him with a dull thud. His assistant glanced at him through the rearview mirror. Assistant. Sir, are you all right? Takara didn't answer. His eyes stared blankly at the passing city. Neon signs blurring into meaningless streaks of color. The limousine rolled through the iron gates of Takara's grand villa. The mansion loomed under the moonlight, its windows glowing faintly like watchful eyes. The car stopped. The assistant stepped out first, opening the door for Takara. Assistant. Sir, do you need anything? Takara's voice was low, drained. Takara. Nah, leave me alone for some time. The assistant hesitated, studying his master's face, then nodded respectfully. Assistant. Understood, sir. Takara walked into the vast, silent villa. The chandeliers sparkled, but their light felt empty. He sank into the leather chair of his study, staring at nothing. The hooded man's words echoed in his head. Takara, you don't have much time. Then make it faster. Do your remaining work, before it's too late. Takara closed his eyes, exhaling slowly. Takara thought. So, it has finally begun. I knew this day would come. But not this soon. The silence of the villa was suffocating. For the first time, Takara's power felt like a burden too heavy to carry. Takara walked slowly toward his bedroom, his steps echoing through the silent halls of the villa. He lay down on the vast king-sized bed, but no comfort reached him. The hooded man's voice still whispered in his ears, Takara, you don't have much time. He turned side to side, restless, fighting the unease. Finally, exhaustion dragged him down. His eyes shut, and he drifted into uneasy sleep. In the dream, darkness surrounded him. Takara found himself inside a cage, iron bars stretching endlessly into the void. He pulled at them, but they would not move. His chest tightened with fear, until a figure appeared. A hand reached out. It was his old friend. With a single strike, the cage shattered. Takara stumbled out, gasping for air. Suddenly, he woke. His eyes shot open, sweat clinging to his face. The room was still, but his heart pounded like thunder. Breath ragged, he reached for his phone, without thinking. His trembling fingers dialed a number he hadn't called in years. Pick up, please, pick up, Takara muttered, his voice breaking. For the first time in a long while, Takara realized, he could not face this storm alone. He could not face this storm alone. But the call went unanswered. Takara froze, his mind racing. Why would he even pick up my phone? It's been 7 years since we last spoke. I had forgotten all my old friends after becoming rich and powerful. Despite himself, a small pang of longing stirred. He realized that no amount of wealth or power could replace the connections he had lost. The next morning, Takara made a decision. He turned to his assistant. Let's go. Go, where? The assistant asked, puzzled. Takara's eyes hardened, a mixture of nostalgia and determination burning in his gaze. Where it all started. 3 cars pulled up in front of the villa. Takara stepped out and moved straight to the middle limousine, sliding into the leather seat with ease. Flanking him, 2 more cars bristled with security, their engines low and menacing. Without a word, the convoy began to move, cutting through the streets toward an old, forgotten village, a place where it all began. As the convoy reached the village, Takara felt a wave of emotion wash over him. He stared out the window, watching the familiar roads pass by, memories flooding back. Before they even reached the heart of the village, Takara asked the driver to stop. His eyes fell on the old swings, the very place where he had spent countless hours as a child. Nostalgia gripped him, and for a moment, he simply stared, lost in the past. Soon, Takara arrived at his old friend's house. He knocked on the door, and a familiar voice called out from inside, "Come in, Takara. You've grown so tall, you'll barely fit through the doorway." Takara stepped inside and was warmly greeted by his friend's mother. "Where's Sean?" he asked. "He's in the fields, just like before," she replied. Takara nodded, a small smile forming. "I'll go find him. It's been so many years." His friend's mother looked at him with concern. "Did you two fight back then?" Takara shook his head lightly. "Leave it, mother. Old things are best left in the past." Without another word, Takara turned toward the fields, determination and nostalgia mingling in his gaze, ready to reunite with the friend he had not seen for years. Takara spotted his friend from a distance. Sean was busy in the fields, his hands covered in soil, carrying some farming tools. Even the clothes on him were stained with dirt. As Takara approached, something slipped from Sean's hands, falling to the ground. His steps faltered for a moment, then, without thinking, he ran toward Takara. The moment they met, they clung to each other in a tight, unrelenting embrace, as if trying to make up for the 7 lost years in a single hold. Takara's chest pressed against Sean's, both of them breathing heavily, hearts pounding in unison. Sean finally pulled back slightly, and asked, "What happened? Why are you here after so many years?" Takara smiled faintly, a shadow of guilt in his eyes. "My friend, you were angry with me. And I didn't want to die in that state." Sean frowned, confused. "What happened?" Takara's expression darkened, his voice low but steady. 7 years ago, the group that gave me all of this, the power, the wealth. I made a promise to them. But I forgot it." Sean blinked, trying to process. "What promise?" Takara's eyes glinted with a mix of regret and determination. "I sold my soul to them. That's how I got here, that's how I survived." Sean staggered back slightly, disbelief written all over his face. "What?" Takara's voice was low, tinged with resignation. "Nothing can be done now. My time has run out. I've even received a warning. I need to finish what's left, every last task." Sean's brow furrowed, frustration and concern in his eyes. "Then why did you choose the wrong path? You could have stayed here with me. At least we'd be happy. Look at us." Takara sighed, his gaze distant. "At that time, I was lost, confused. This was the only path I had." After meeting his old friend, Takara began to turn back, ready to leave. But Sean stepped forward, stopping him. From his hand, he pulled a small ring and pressed it into Takara's palm. "You need this more than I do," Sean said firmly. Takara stared at it, puzzled. How do I need this?" Sean's eyes gleamed with quiet certainty. "Just wear it. When the time comes, everything will become clear." Takara returned to his villa, staring at the ring on his finger. "How will I even need this?" he wondered. Its weight felt heavy, hinting at a purpose he couldn't yet see. Takara leaned back in his chair, eyes cold yet calm. His assistant stood before him, hesitant, unsure of what was about to be said. With a deep breath, Takara spoke. "My time is running out. I can feel it. Now, the moment has come to decide the new owner of this empire, the businesses, the properties, everything." The assistant's eyes widened, his voice breaking with unease. Sir, what are you saying? Why are you talking like this? Takara's gaze sharpened, but his tone softened. Treat the new owner with respect. Handle everything with care. That will be your duty now. The assistant shook his head, almost pleading. Sir, no one can take your place. You are powerful. You built this empire with your own hands, with years of effort. Why would you say such things now? Takara exhaled slowly, a faint, almost bitter smile forming on his lips. I am lucky, luckier than most. I have been given the chance to know my end before it arrives. That is a gift many never receive. But enough of this talk. Let's spend what little time remains on good deeds. Something meaningful, before the final moment comes. The room fell silent. Takara's eyes shifted to his assistant, a faint trace of hope in his voice. Tell me, he said quietly, any good news, about that girl? The assistant straightened, already prepared. Yes, sir. I've uncovered her full routine. He spoke clearly, as though delivering a mission report. In the morning, at 8 a.m., she works at a gaming store, as a simple sales clerk. By afternoon, around 2 p.m., she's free for a few hours. But by 8 in the evening, she takes on another job, serving as a waitress to support her family. The next morning, Takara headed toward the gaming store. For the first time, he appeared in nothing but a simple t-shirt and shorts, no suits, no luxury, no security. Takara walked through the streets, his steps slower than usual. Up ahead, he noticed a young boy riding a rusty old bicycle. Takara stopped him, eyes calm but firm. Give me that cycle, buddy. How much? The boy frowned, clutching the handles. I don't want to sell it. Without a second thought, Takara pulled out his wallet and handed it over, stuffed with bills. Still not enough? He asked, voice steady, almost challenging. The boy's eyes widened, stunned by the weight of the money in his hands. Without another word, the boy stepped off the bicycle and pushed it toward Takara. Here, take it. Takara rode the cycle through the streets, finally stopping in front of the gaming store. For a moment, he hesitated at the entrance, an unfamiliar unease tugging at him. A man who once ruled empires, now stepping into a world so ordinary. Still, he pushed the door open and walked inside. Takara picked up a controller, his posture relaxed, his hands steady, pretending to be just another gamer. From across the store, Ra noticed him. Her steps slowed, then she began walking toward him.